This is a video that I thought I would never make. Welcome back to another video, guys. Just want to let y'all know that I completely left out the vlogging part on this FL2K video. We got really busy. We kind of got to the event kind of late, so we set up really quickly and kind of got straight into racing. We didn't even set up any cameras on the car really, so everything we got is POV from people either in the stands, right at the at the lanes with me, or whatnot. So anyway, we got plenty of videos of every pass. We got time slips. So I'm just going to kind of walk y'all through it because, like I said, we kind of got there, got into it, and started racing. So we went out there. The car was pretty much, it was tested but untested because the first couple passes that we brought the car to the track with on these new Viking coilovers in the rear was on 0 CO2. So pretty much we were on wastegate. And this was the first time that the car had been at the track with the coilovers on a good prep track with CO2. We had CO2, so we were leaving on 20 plus pounds of boost. And well, anyway, the car left good. We went and it did a 131, which is not the best the car's ever done, but it was good enough. We should have went mid-8s with this 60 foot. We went a 365 in the 330, and we ended up going a 587 to the 8th at 29 miles an hour. If that goes to show where the pass went bad. The car actually burnt a boost reference line, which you'll see in this picture here. And the car hit 40 pounds of boost, which is our boost cut. That's where we have it set up at, is 40 pounds of boost. So the car hit boost cut, kind of went into limp mode, and I coasted the rest of the way down the track. But yeah, so we trapped 29 miles an hour in the 8th, and I kind of rolled back into it a little bit, and we passed the traps at an 11.1 at 78 miles an hour, which is ridiculously slow for my car. But anyway, on to the next pass.
Starting line right-hand side, Harry Chavanier having problems with the Camaro, but Zach Hicks on a rip left side. How about 751 at 185, improves by about 300ths and a little over 2 miles an hour from his previous run. He was qualified number 7. He may stay there depending on what number 6 was. All
right, so on to the second qualifying pass. We got in the right lane. We had known that a lot of people were having issues hooking on that right lane. So we went ahead and turned the car down a lot, like a lot. And as I staged, the track had a lot of sand and dirt on the pit lane coming back, on the return lane coming back from the end of the track, because it had flooded. There was a lot of rain, a lot of stuff going on. So the cars were picking up dirt and sand and flinging it everywhere. So anyway, whenever I got to the tree on the second pass, even though we cleaned as good as we could the car, we I got on the two-step, and as soon as I bumped in, right behind the front tire, the car dropped either dirt or sand, just the slightest bit of it. And as soon as my rear tires touched that sand, the car spun, like pretty bad spun, like went towards the wall. And since we had kind of an idea that it might have been our last qualifier, I spun, I got back in it, and I ran it through the traps. And it only ran a 9.6, but it was enough to get us into qualifier. I mean, to qualify us. We ended up qualifying in a really slow class, which it was actually really hard to get the car to slow down, but it messed up our chances of being in the class we were supposed to be. But anyway, we made it work, and we made this pass, went a 9.6. The car made a 1.57, which is once again terrible. The car spun not even 3 foot from where I staged at, and we went a 446 to the 330 and a 640 to the 8th, which is terrible once again. But this time we were actually in it through the A, so we were 118 miles an hour versus the 29 miles an hour we were doing the first pass. And we went a 9.6 at 149. When we got back to the staging lanes, we noticed one of my spark plug wires was actually completely loose. It had popped off. I got these ceramic plug wires, which are really good for turbo cars because you can't burn the ceramic plug wire. But the only issue with them is if you don't check them after every pass, sometimes they will pop off with vibration and whatnot. So that is why the mile an hour was way down. Normally the car traps mid 160s, and it was at 150, so it was 10 mile an hour down or so.
That'll bring up our next pair. It's an all Chevy matchup. The 4th gen Camaro left-hand side. The Chevy Colorado on the right-hand side. We got Louisiana representing left-hand side. Florida on the right-hand side. Florida-based 2008 Colorado for Scott Lausch. Lausch out of Naples. He is wheeling the 2008 Chevy Colorado. He's your number 6 qualifier at 943. He'll face the number 11 qualifier, Harry Chauvenet. Chauvenet out of Louisiana, 2001 model Camaro with the 5.3-liter truck motor. It's a popular base, and he qualified in the number 11 spot at 964. So he's separated by a couple tenths of a second. This could be all in the whole shot. Camaro leads first. Welded the truck to the Christmas tree by 0.3 of a second. Now the Colorado trying to pull even. He's going to get close to him at the finish line and gets around him by 56 thousandths of a second. 867, but goes way too quick. So Scott Lausch goes 867. The breakout was 918.3. So the right-hand side got the win light, but went way too fast, and he is disqualified. Harry also went underneath the index, but because of the double breakout, left side will get the win light.
All right, so this is our first competition run, which was actually supposed to be our 3rd qualifier, but we ended up going straight into eliminations because of rain. And so anyway, we're in the slow class, and we got stuck in the slow class with a bunch of fast cars that were trying to also go slow. Our breakout was a 9.1. But anyway, this is the first pass. We got set up against a 2007 or 8 Colorado, little crew cab truck, but it was pretty sick. It was big turbo. I think it had like a 408 or a 427 in it, and we took off, and I was ahead of him probably, I don't know, a car and a half or so. And I was like, I'm going a little too fast. I looked down. I was already in high gear or 2nd gear, and I saw that my car was about 7,000 RPM, and I got my red limiter is like 8,500 on the car, and I know that at 7,000 RPM, the car is doing about 150 miles an hour. So at 150 miles an hour, and me being that much ahead of him, I knew I needed to slam on the brakes because I was going way faster than 9.1. So I slam on the brakes. He flies by me. He goes 8.6 at 161, and I ended up going a 9.008 at like 130 or something like that. And he broke out. I broke out also, but I broke out by a lot less than him. And our breakout was a 9.1 or 9.18. And since I was closer to the breakout, I advanced to the next round.
8:53, the quicker run gets sidelined by the whole shot at 8:56. I bet Robbie Dowdy is going to be jumping out of his suit down there.
Yeah, and I was looking forward to seeing those gold rims, chopping it up one more time, but he goes back to the trailer.
That thing does leave nice, I will tell you that. Okay, here comes your next class. This is the Super Street Car Shootout. This is the last class. We're going to start out with tie grade. Tyler Braun over on the right-hand side, and Harry Charbonnet out of James, Louisiana. Qualifying, and he's out. Got a fender on Harry. Can he hold him off? As we look at the live feed, it doesn't look like it. Left side might break out. They're going to play those skinny pedal games. No, too quick.
And goes too quick. Breaks out.
So Tyler Braun gets the win on the double breakout. The breakout was 9.18.3, 9 flat, way too quick. Tyler only under by a little bit, 9.15 with a 6. He's under by 27 thousandths. But again, 9.18, the quicker of.
All right, so this is our final elimination pass. But we went up against the Cletus McFarlane crew. We went up against Ty Braun and his Coyote-powered Ford Ranger. We lined up, and he actually got me at the tree this time. So I kind of got on the scramble a little bit. Made sure I was ahead of him, and then I tried matching his speed. Because right before our pass, I heard Mr. Garrett Mitchell, or Cletus McFarlane as you would know him, go up to him in the staging lane and said, "Hey, bud, I got you a 9.1 tune-up in this thing." And I knew for a fact that we did not have a 9.1 tune-up in my car. It was way too fast. And we turned it down a lot, and it was still trying to go mid-8 seconds. And that was with me pedaling the car multiple times on the track. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I get a fender ahead of him, and I'm going to match his speed. And as you can tell in this clip, I literally was pedaling on the brake, pedaling on the brake, pedaling on the brake about 5 times to make sure I was right on his fender. And at the end, my ego kind of got to me, and I gave it a little bit of gas to make sure that I crossed first. But I should have hit the brake because we both broke out, and he ended up being the one that broke out by a little bit less, so he took the win. But I went a 9.002, and he ended up going on 9.15, so he broke out by like 3/10. Oh no, 3/100, which the breakout was a 9.18, and well, he took the win, even though I really took the win. It was kind of confusing for the people that didn't understand that we had a breakout, because the wind light turned on for me because I crossed the beams first. But in reality, he was the one that won. Anyway, at the end of the track, we had a little conversation. He was like, "Bro, that was the sickest race I ever had." And I agreed. But next time, no 9.1 breakout tie. We're going full out. All right, so in this picture, you'll see us actually in the staging lanes before the pass that y'all just saw. This is my car next to Ty's Ranger, and you'll see Richard. He's my tuner. He's right in the middle. Shout out to Richard and Brian. Richard for tuning. He's freaking one of the best on the laptop. And Brian's the owner of MRL, or Mexico Racing League. And anytime I've ever needed anything, Brian's been there for me. He, whether it's letting me park with him at the pits, giving me advice on turbos or stators on the converter, or anything really, he's been there. Glad to have him in my corner, and glad to be able to call him my friend. Got to give a special thanks to Lund John Lund Jr. and John Lund Sr. for allowing us to borrow parts and stuff and being real humble and nice to us every time we've been to any event with them. Shout out to Red Horse Racing for being at every event and actually saving us. They saved us at World Cup Finals. They saved us at TX2K. They saved us this time at FL2K. We had a radiator hose that was a -16, about 14 inches long or so, that ended up kind of busting or leaking. And they built us one right there on the spot and got us going, made it to the next round. And yeah, shout out to those guys. They are freaking awesome.
Well, guys, this is a video that I thought I would never make. Pretty much just lost everything. We were in on our way home from FL2K, and we lost control of the truck, and we rolled it, but everybody's good. It just, everything's messed up, guys. We'll bounce back. Yeah, go ahead, you're good. All right, the car's flipped back straight. All right, you ready? Hey. We're gonna have to turn the wheel a little bit.